When the news broke that Judge Frank Caprio had passed away at the age of 88, it was met with an outpouring of love, respect, and admiration from people all around the world. Caprio was not just a judge in the traditional sense, he became a global symbol of compassion in the justice system. Through his long career, and especially in his later years, his televised courtroom sessions on Caught in Providence touched millions. Clips of his interactions with defendants, often everyday people facing small infractions, went viral across social media platforms. They revealed a man who brought kindness, empathy, and humanity into a setting that often feels intimidating and rigid. Judge Caprio's legacy isn't only in the cases he presided over, but also in the lessons he imparted about fairness, justice, and the belief that every individual deserves dignity. His passing has prompted countless tributes from those who admired his work, recalling moments that highlighted the heart of who he was, a man who cared deeply for people, regardless of their circumstances, early life, and path to the bench. Frank Caprio was born in Providence, Rhode Island, into an Italian-American family. Growing up in a working-class household, he developed a strong appreciation for hard work, fairness, and empathy. His parents instilled in him values that would later shape his judicial philosophy: respect for people, humility, and the importance of treating others the way one would like to be treated. After completing his education, Caprio pursued law and eventually became a municipal court judge in Providence. He wasn't from a privileged background, nor did he see the law as a tool to exert power over others. Instead, he viewed it as a responsibility, a way to balance justice with compassion. For decades, he quietly carried out his duties in the courtroom, building a reputation as someone both firm and fair. Caught in Providence, bringing justice to the world, Judge Caprio might have remained a respected local figure had it not been for the television program Caught in Providence. The show, which began airing locally before gaining national and eventually global traction, filmed real cases from Caprio's courtroom. Unlike other courtroom shows that thrive on drama or confrontation, Caught in Providence was refreshingly different. The show highlighted minor infractions, speeding tickets, parking violations, and similar offenses, but what captured audiences was Caprio's approach. Instead of reducing defendants to case numbers, he treated them as human beings with stories, struggles, and emotions. His gentle humor, fatherly tone, and sincere curiosity about people's lives stood out in a world where many courtroom shows focused on conflict. Clips from the program began circulating on social media, particularly YouTube and Facebook. It wasn't long before millions of viewers worldwide became familiar with his warm personality. To many, he represented a different kind of justice, one rooted not in punishment alone, but in understanding. Viral courtroom momentum of Judge Caprio's courtroom interactions became iconic, shared millions of times online. These moments highlighted the unique balance he struck between fairness and compassion. The child's decision in one widely shared clip: a young boy accompanied his father to court for a traffic violation. Instead of addressing only the father, Caprio invited the child to the bench and asked him how he thought the case should be resolved. With a mixture of innocence and seriousness, the child rendered his verdict. Audiences loved the moment because it showed Caprio's ability to humanize the process and engage with people in ways that diffused tension. Compassion for struggling defendants. In other instances, defendants explained that they couldn't afford fines due to hardships such as unemployment, illness, or family struggles. Caprio often reduced or dismissed fines after hearing their stories, sometimes even offering words of encouragement. These gestures might have seemed small, but for the individuals involved and the millions who watched, they symbolized empathy within a system that can often feel cold. Balancing justice with humor. Caprio's lighthearted sense of humor also became a hallmark of his courtroom. He could make people laugh even in stressful situations, reminding them that while mistakes happen, dignity and kindness should remain constant. These viral clips resonated far beyond Providence. They showcased universal values: kindness, fairness, and the belief that justice should not be devoid of humanity. The global appeal of Judge Caprio. Why did Judge Caprio's courtroom resonate with so many people worldwide? Part of the answer lies in the universality of the experiences he dealt with. Parking tickets, speeding fines, and minor infractions happened everywhere, but in Caprio's courtroom, these ordinary situations became extraordinary lessons in empathy. Viewers from across cultures saw in him the kind of judge or leader they wished existed in their own communities. His philosophy transcended national borders, In an age of cynicism about institutions, Caprio offered a vision of what fairness could look like, grounded in law, yet flexible enough to recognize human circumstances, reactions to his passing following. Judge Caprio's death at 88, tributes poured in from every corner of the globe. Politicians, fellow legal professionals, and ordinary citizens alike shared their admiration. Social media was filled with clips of his most memorable courtroom moments. As people reflected on the lessons he imparted, many noted that Caprio didn't just resolve legal disputes, he restored people's faith in humanity. Others called him a people's judge, a title that perfectly encapsulates his reputation for countless fans. His courtroom wasn't just a place of justice. It was a classroom where values of empathy and fairness were taught through example. A legacy beyond the courtroom. Judge Caprio's influence extended beyond the bench. He became a cultural figure, invited to interviews, talk shows, and community events. Yet, despite global fame, he remained grounded. He often said his greatest joy came from helping people, not from attention or accolades. His story also became an inspiration for aspiring legal professionals, law students, and young lawyers. Admired his approach, seeing it as a model for blending legal rigor with compassion. In an era where the justice system is often criticized for being harsh or impersonal, Caprio's example stands as a counterpoint. Lessons from Judge Caprio's life. Reflecting on Judge Frank Caprio's life and career, several enduring lessons emerge. Justice and compassion can coexist. Caprio proved that enforcing the law doesn't mean abandoning empathy. His courtroom was proof that a judge can be firm without being cruel. Every person has a story. By listening to defendants' backgrounds, he demonstrated the importance of context in decision-making. Justice isn't just about rules, it's about people. Kindness is contagious. His viral videos spread not because of sensationalism, but because of kindness. In a digital world often dominated by negativity, his clips became beacons of hope. Legacy is built on humanity. Titles and positions may fade, but the way a person makes others feel endures. Judge Caprio's warmth ensured that his legacy will be remembered for generations. Conclusion. Judge Frank Caprio's passing marks the end of an extraordinary chapter in the world of justice, but his influence will continue to resonate. Through his viral courtroom moments, he reminded the world that compassion and fairness are not weaknesses in justice. They are its greatest strengths. His interactions on Caught in Providence will continue to inspire, educate, and move people long after his passing. In remembering him, we celebrate a judge who transformed a municipal courtroom into a stage for humanity, empathy, and hope. Judge Frank Caprio leaves behind not only a legal legacy, but also a human one. His courtroom moments weren't just cases, they were lessons in how to treat one another with dignity and kindness. For that reason, his legacy will live on in the millions of hearts he touched worldwide.